Hey everybody, it's Funny here once again. Hope you're doing well today. I'm rambling about the ThreeTom Modular Doppio. It sounds like this. Okay, I'm like positive I'm mispronouncing Doppio. It sounds like a Trailer Park Boys character, but on with the show anyway. So what is it? 4 HP, stereo, amp, drive, and limiter. I'll show you all of those different parts. We're going to basically be doing a lot of different sound sources today. I think is the best way to demonstrate it. Just kind of run through everything and see how delicious all the distortion circuits can sound and how warm and saturated you can make things with this. So we're going to be listening to a mono output, but here's our dry signal for now. We just have a sine wave. Not super exciting. Maybe I'll pitch it down a little bit. We won't send a sequence or anything. And then on the bottom half here, the blue line on the oscilloscope is our output of the Doppio. So right now, if I have the volume all the way down and the gain all the way down, it's two stages. You have input gain and then an output volume control. So you can really drive the crap out of this, saturate the crap out of it, but soft clip it so you're not clipping stuff down the line. You can also clip stuff down the line if you would like to. So let's go through all of that different stuff. First knob at the top is the caffeine, which is the gain. There's a lot of coffee puns on here. I'm in the middle of trying to reduce my caffeine intake, so I don't appreciate that. I'm just kidding. I very much appreciate caffeine, and that's why it's become a problem with my overconsumption. So in comes our caffeine with the volume down. I have my three-way switches at noon, so we'll get into what they do in a moment, but input gain and output here. And you'll see not a whole lot of difference here, but our levels are indicated here on the coffee bean LEDs. And I can drive the crap out of my input and lower my volume just to kind of VCA it, I guess, and just set a, just as an output VCA, basically, that can set an overall level, which in this setup, not the craziest, but I'll show you where it gets crazy in a moment. So I'm going to describe these as like macro modes for gain, I guess. We're in the middle one, which is 1 times, which is just like the baseline gain. If we switch over to 5 times, we get a big volume jump. Let's turn that up here. And notice, when you get into the red territory, we are hard clipping. And you see right on the oscilloscope that goes beyond 5 volts. So it will cause problems for other stuff down the line here, right? And we don't want to do that. So there's a couple ways you can limit this. And one, you can just turn down the volume on the output, right? So blast the input and then turn down the output. Well, you see we've turned our sine wave into square, basically. It's not wave folded, but it is rounded off and saturated in a way. Not super exciting on just a basic waveform, but when you get into doing other shapes, it is very tasty. If we switch over back to the middle, that's 1 times. Or if we turn the volume down, I'll turn my caffeine down. There's also 24 times. Now this should be like the Ritual Electronics Guillotine, enough gain to boost instrument level up to Eurorack level. It is like insane amounts of gain. Let's turn this up here. And then red is clipping it. Just will absolutely decimate it, and you'll see suddenly our sine wave becoming completely square without, with very little semblance of any sine rounding. So just quickly to summarize, so middle 0 dB, Still have that range in the caffeine knob. Go down to the bottom. That's 14 dB, 5 times. Hard clipping at the top there, at least with this input signal. Here's some sort of wonkiness going on down my chain because I'm overloading it, which I shouldn't be. But if we get over to 21 times, sorry, it's handwritten, that is 26 dB of gain. It's a freaking lot of gain. And becomes a beautiful wave shaping tool. So let's switch over to Piston Honda. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera just to get some different sound sources added. Here is Piston Honda. Let's listen to the dry. And the driven. And what you're going to want to do, it already saturating deliciously, and we haven't even gotten to the limiter or anything yet. It just makes everything sound more gooder. But I'm going to say, if I'm using the Doppio, I want to use the other side, which is 3 different types of drive. We have in the middle, linear gain, hard clipping, hits that red line. At the top, soft clipping drive. And you'll see it is still just peeking into that red territory. But does offer a nice, safe limit. But if you want hard saturation limiting using the limit mode and just blasting this, sounds really good. Even if my input source is a little too crazy. What's something else we can listen to? What's a nice drone? Do I have any nice drones in here? Here, let's listen to output of the Vector. Might be a wavetable. It's a little less crazy. So here's the dry. And then we'll go over to the wet. This allows us to absolutely blast the gain and the caffeine knob without hard clipping stuff down the line. At least not too bad. You see there is a big input boost, and that's just fine. We go back to 1 time. If we go down to the middle in the gain switch, but where we get really crazy, 24 times. It just sounds so good. And you probably wouldn't apply that to a single oscillator. So let's jump around here. 24, 21 times, middle. I need to try and sweep through a little change on there. But again, just like my coffee addiction, lack of self-control, I'm just having a hard time not cranking the gain all the way up and limiting. Like, I'd like that saturation sound. Give me as much of it as you can. If we do it here where it's just clipping a little bit, use your output to adjust. See how we've made our input source just a little bit fatter in a way that you can kind of see on the oscilloscope, just like, the waveform is more squared off. So having said that, let's throw some drums at it. So this is the output of the Flame Fire right now. Just throwing it on top of the entire bus. Switch over to the output of the Doppio. We're at 1 times mode in the middle. We're not adding any gain to the macro switch. If we do, here's 5 times. Oh, I don't know if it's also just being more louder is more good, but like, you hear some of that low end fattening up. I guess because everything's being fattened up. If I switch over to the linear drive now, turn it up a hair more. Try a different sequence just to keep it spicy. Yeah. Try different presets. Maybe not that one. It just it sounds so good. Let's get in the limit mode now. Again, I love how it saturates, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll admit it sounds a little bit better with the caffeine rolled off a hair. I think the hard limit is just having that volume gain stage here, I just feel like not using the limit is kind of a missed opportunity. It's cool that you have the options to not use it too, but I'm gonna live in the limit section most of the time. Let's go up to 24 times gain. Like, need I say more? Bring down the caffeine a little bit. Now, no CV control over these knobs, but 4 HP, can't really complain. Try a different kit and a different pattern. This one's pretty metallic, maybe. I'll go back to this one. Ooh. Let's go back to 5 times gain. I will, okay. Maybe caffeine, maybe at noon, and then use this macro in 21 times. This is like some of the best sounds, right? When it's not completely breaking up, but it still can when you want to, right? So let's bring in some more tracks. And crank it. Did I mention it sounds good? Because it just sounds so good. But it does, like, look how this is just completely decimated, right? Yeah. Bring down that a little bit. Maybe if we turn off the clipping. Don't like doing that as much, but maybe we'll do a more subtle sound. Caffeine all the way up. Our limiter's off, and we'll put it in the middle, maybe. Yeah. Bring in some other tracks. 1 and 2, go. Bring it back in. Yeah. Yeah. And of course it's stereo, so you could do even 2 separate sound sources if you wanted to. You don't have to mix them down to a stereo mix. You can certainly do that. You don't have to lose your stereo image using this, but man, it sounds so good on a drum bus. Let's go back into the limit mode. It sounds great. Yeah. On kicks, man. Let's see if I can find my trick. There, kick track in isolation. Go from very basic sound to just absolutely ridiculous slamming. And you can layer this, use both inputs as separate independent drives, right? Yeah. Speaking of fun kicks, let's do one other thing to try. So like I said, this can boost line level to your rack level. Here comes the Volca kick. We'll throw a couple kicks on the floor. If you haven't seen the Volca kick episode, check it out because I think it is super cool, super underrated synth. I will turn down most of the controls on it. Maybe we'll turn up the tempo a bit though. 140 BPM, just 4 on the floor. Just a nice sinusoidal, if that's an adjective. Here's the dry sound, right? And then we'll fatten it up with the Doppio. Here's 5 times. And it just sounds so good. Here comes the limiter. It's not going to change much in the lowest mode, but switch to the middle. And the linear drive. it up to 21 times. Get over to my limiter so we can blast that without reservations. Yeah. It just sounds excellent. I mean, what else can I say? Bring in some transient as well. Yeah. Doppio sounds awesome. For the kit, for the money, it sounds awesome either way, but I'm super excited to. If you're after a stereo distortion, which is surprisingly not as easy to come by in Eurorack, the saturation to it is just excellent. All right, I'm tafony. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.